better than the, I mean, you can kind of see the screen in the back. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit. Cannot zoom in this mode. Okay. Anyways, I've scrolled all the way down to the bottom, and what you'll see here, you see parent category and name. So parent category, again, this is where like everything, if you don't pick a category, everything just falls into this default bank questions. And like I said, categories are very powerful to like keep your questions organized. You don't want to just have everything in one bank. So and as you see, like all the categories that I had up there up top, they're all here, right? So I have lots of categories. Some of this stuff I imported, like these were quizzes that Mark had made, and I imported them. Okay, and so this would be kind of the same feature that you all will be doing as well as your bank gets created bigger and bigger, and every semester you want to just import it as opposed to, and we'll show that next time or another time. But we're going to add a category, and I'm going to put this one, I think I do have grammar. I should have grammar. Where's my grammar? Listening, vocabulary, reading. Well, it should be in writing, right? I know I created a grammar.
Well,
okay.
Maybe it's a
good time to make one.
Yeah.
I'll make it one in writing. So again, like this numbering system thing that I do, you don't have to do it, but I just like it because it kind of keeps me organized. So I know it. Please don't restart. Please don't restart. Okay, so I know that. So for example, 2.0, I'm just gonna put grammar in with writing. So 2.0 is the big heading, and then you see it's 2.1, 2.3. This is just, again, this is something that I do, and even like the subcategories have 2.41, right? Body paragraphs, and so I'll just add it onto here. So I'll call this one 2.7 grammar. So I'm gonna add this to that tab. So I'm gonna go to writing. So it's gonna be under this heading. And what did I say? I said 2.7, thank you, grammar. And you could put some extra information here, not necessary. Add category. So now it's added. So nothing's happened. Only thing you did was add a category. Now you have to add your questions, okay? And that's why I'm saying it's important to just make sure your categories are organized, because it just allows you to be more organized. Because when you open up your question bank, as you can see here, bless you. As you open up your question bank here, all your questions, this is what mistake I made in the beginning. I had all my questions just in one place, and it's just like, but it's cool. You can just be like, if you want to give a quick quiz, you click over here, all the questions that you want to give, and then you can create a quiz from that, right? So it's nice, but categories just make it a little bit more organized. So I'm gonna go down here to grammar, click on grammar, the one we just made, and then, as you see, there's nothing here. So easiest way to do this, create a new question. And again, Moodle is very powerful, has a lot of features. So you have all these different question types, and they're really nice. They're really great. But I highly suggest don't get too caught up in trying to do like all these fancy tests. There are some really cool stuff that I would love to show you, but like a lot of times I would do true and false, because I feel it's like one of the easiest questions to make. Because with multiple choice, you have to have good distractors. You have your right answer, and then you have 3 distractors. And it's kind of hard to like always make a good one. And that's something that I'm trying to keep on improving on. And I really think as a department, we can just really, if we work really together and like, just like instead of like everybody creating their own quizzes, we all kind of like work together and just like revamped what we already have. It would be really nice. And with Moodle, we can really share all these things. Anyways, multiple choice. Let's just, because the English Essentials is a multiple choice. Question name, I haven't really come up with a great category or a great system for question name. You could say capital letters, but homonyms. I know, but a lot of times what I've seen people do online, they would just copy the question and put the question here. So,
Oh, good. So put the question in the name.
Yeah, and then you do the same thing here. You probably want to get rid of the number, because with the Moodle you can, it can shuffle them automatically for you, and you want to do that. You want it to be random, so that students, if they're sitting next to each other, it's unlikely that they get the same question. Because if they're getting all the questions in the same order, they just know. They just wait for the next person to finish and get to their question.
They do that.
Yeah, I know. I know.
What's the advantage again of
taking the number off?
Of copying the actual
name
question under question name?
I don't have a reason. Well, when you go,
you can't leave it blank.
You can't leave it blank. Well, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Because when you go to the question bank at the beginning, remember how I had that one bank that was full of questions?
Yeah.
That's all you will see.
You
It's
want
kind
to
of
see.
confusing.
Yeah, so if you
want
put
to be able to
capitals,
see.
you're going to have 10, 20 questions on capitals,
Right.
right? So you're going
Capitals.
to, yeah, like
You
which
probably want to call it homonyms and then the question. Homonyms and then the other
maybe,
question. Homonyms
yeah,
and then
that
the
might
Or
even
maybe
be,
the number of the chapter.
could be.
Yeah.
But if you change books,
Something to indicate
Yeah.
the type.
so
Plus
how do you spell homonyms?
So
Homonyms.
there's another O after O.
After O? After M?
Sounds like hummus.
Hummus. I always,
With
I
the
love
Y.
homonyms.
well, after Y?
Yeah.
I always say that word wrong.
Homonyms, yeah.
Homonyms. Okay. Still underlining it. Okay. Anyway, still, yeah. So maybe that would be a good system.
Okay, whatever. Yeah.
Because, I mean, at the same time, I know that with some parts of Moodle, you can't even see all of this. Like when you're trying to pick your question, it'll only give you like the first 6 letters or first word or 2 words. So, yeah, that's something for later. Okay. I think it'll still be fine for now. Default mark. This is how much it's worth. And we're going to leave that alone. Like the only time that I really change that is if it's a question that has more than one like answer or something. So if it's a question like a heavier question that has like choose all the correct answers, and I have because this is multiple choice, but you could get multiple choice, multiple answer. So they have to pick 4 or 5 questions, 4 or 5.
Oh no. Okay, we got it. We got it.
Start the video back. Copying this question, I like to tab over to my different tabs. So for now, we'll just do this. We could, if we get a good system going, like I would like to, be 2.7.1, right? Hopefully. Here you put the question, no number. And there was another thing, I can't remember what it was. There was something that Moodle doesn't like. Either it doesn't like colons or
Some kind of characters.
some characters that it doesn't like. I think blanks are fine. I have to research that. Oh, so look at these different features that you have in Moodle. I'm sorry, but I have to just go on this. So like all these different things, I could put a video in here. So just like how you go to these like kite exam or something like that, and it gives you like an audio. Like you could do the exact same thing with here. You could have an audio into this question specifically. So when a student comes to this question, they click on the audio and you can specify it. They could play it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, whatever many times, and then they answer the question. So it'll still be the same question, but you'll have like a little player, a little audio player right here that they can click on and look at. You can put images, you can put videos, so many things, different things. I don't even know all the things. This is mostly formatting stuff right here. Just like, So default mark 1, unless it's a heavy question that has more than one answer. So here's general feedback. So again, Moodle has so much stuff, it's kind of confusing. And I just want to just kind of go over it because you're going to see it and you're going to be like, what is this again? So general feedback is just kind of like, good job or try again type of thing.
What pops to them after they submit their answer.
Right, I think I might be getting that wrong. I might be getting it wrong. One or multiple choice. So even here, I can make multiple answers allowed. Okay, and this is what I was saying. So even here, shuffled answer choices. I like to keep that clicked. So even the questions can be shuffled, and the answer choices can be shuffled.
Are the questions in any level of difficulty, or do they go for easier?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah. They're all the same.
And that would be nice too, because this is another feature that I really want to get with Moodle quizzes and the quiz questions, is having easy, medium, difficult questions like marked.
So categorizing the question.
Right. So that would be a category that I would put in my categories. So like even within like capitals, I would have like easy, medium, difficult, so when we get to the point we want to do adaptive quizzes, it's just like all our easy questions are there, all our medium questions there, all our difficult questions
Or
are
if you're
there.
doing a quick review,
Yeah.
you just go to the medium ones.
Exactly.
rather than wasting
Right,
time, 'cause
yeah.
You don't have time to do all of them.
Right.
Or something.
So here again, just extra features.
Numbers.
This is just the numbering or lettering of the choices. You want it small, capital, ones, I's, big I's, or no numbering at all. Usually just C. So here we go. Here's to what I was saying.
Your and your.
Say it again.
The answers were either your or your.
Your or
Oh yeah.
you are.
So I'm gonna go back to it. So first choice, I just go back here, copy it, go back here, paste. So I'm using keyboard shortcuts. Control, Alt Tab. Alt Tab switches you between different screens. Alt Tab, and then
Alt tab.
Alt-Tab switches you between screens. And then when you're on the screen, you select what you want, and I push Control-C, it copies it, and then Control-V, paste. So here's what I was telling you about, the grade. So right now it says none. That means this answer is wrong. So if we want to make this, and that's the thing about Moodle, you can really, like, you can give negative points. I mean, no, this was the feature that we had, I know specifically in the SAT when I was taking the SAT in high school.
Yeah, when you got an answer
You got an answer wrong,
yeah,
it would give you negative points because you're really stupid.
In our case, it's really 100 or 0.
Yeah, so usually, and here's where you give the feedback. This is that specific feedback for the specific answer. So, like, this is 100%. So I would, you know, I could say great job. I usually wouldn't waste my time saying great job or anything. I would, you know they got a good job if they did a good job. So I would take the other answer. So this is the distractor. This is the wrong one. This is 0. Where is this? None. I'm sorry, none. There's no 0. And then here, I would literally. No, I would literally, like for me, for my formative, I wouldn't explain it, or I would just give, like, it's like a hint. It's a hint, but I would just give, like, exactly what I taught in class. Like, you know, for grammar, it would be a hint. It would be like, don't forget that, you know, when you put two words together, you have to use, you know, apostrophe or something, and some hint. And that's it. So we're not going to use any other choices. If I wanted to add more choices, like I said, you could add more choices. Multiple tries, very cool stuff again. So like you could give them 100% on their first try, but on their second try,
Deducts their mark.
right, so they don't get 100% because it's the second try. So you can make it so they got 33% or 60% or 50%, right? Because it's their second try.
For each incorrect try.
Right, so I mean,
Moodle.
Moodle.
We're starting simple.
Right, exactly. I
Yeah.
just can't help but to just, and this is a feature that I think would really set Moodle off. And this is kind of related to the competencies. This is what this is where the competencies comes in. So you can like tag questions, just like how you have hashtag, you know, Gus is, master grammar, right? Hashtag that. So you can kind of, this is also with categorizing your questions. But my vision of what I think this really could be would be that you would add your, you know, this would be where you put like easy, medium, difficult, capitals and things like that. So it's just easier to search for it later. It just gives you another way to search, just like hashtag, you know.
But does it appear like to students or?
What? Which one? The tags?
tags.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't tried them yet, so I don't know. But I would say no. So we save changes, and this is what I was talking about. So I just made the question.
Yeah,
I haven't created a quiz yet. So to create the quiz, I got to go back to the course, and here I'll have to turn editing on. And here, now editing's turned on, I would add activity. So let's just say this is the second week. So did you see that, what I did?
Yeah.
Add activity, and I'm gonna go down to quiz. Did I skip it? Where's quiz? And you know, I'm sorry for giving you guys so much. Assignment can actually be a quiz too. So like what they were recommending on Moodle, if you have a paragraph you want them to write a longer answer, using assignment is kind of better than quiz, because with quiz, when you're checking it, you have to check each question at a time. Whereas with assignment, you can like look at, like, I think you could look at multiple student answers at the same time or something like that, where it makes it just a lot easier to, if they're writing a long response, it's just a little bit easier.
If we just have a list of grammar items, which one is better for
Quiz. Quiz. So we add quiz, and then we give this quiz a name. So we'll say week 2, review.
It will probably
Grammar.
week 2 quiz. Week 2 grammar quiz.
Week 2 grammar lab review quiz, something like that. You can give description, not needed. So this is, okay, so now we're getting to where those features of how do you stop students from taking a quiz outside of class and stuff like that. So first thing is timing. So this is not enabled automatically, it's disabled. So it means that anybody can take this quiz at any time, it's always available. So when you click enable, this means now, okay, this is next week, right? So what is the date next week?
16.
So let's just say they're taking it on the 13th.
Okay.
So we'll say September 13th. So on September 13th, they'll take this quiz in our classes from, let's just say from 12 to 1. 12 12, and this is a 24-hour system, right? So 12 is 12 noon, okay? And we'll enable it, we'll turn it off same day
Same day,
at 1? At 1, no, 1, that's 1 a.m. So remember,
It's really more like 12:30.
right?
Yeah.
12:30? Yeah, sure. So we go back to 12. We'll just give them a couple minutes left, sure. 12:33, okay? Also, you can regardless, so we can even turn this off and let them take it any time, but they have a time limit.
Once they open it.
Once they open it,
Okay.
15 minutes.
Anytime, including any day.
So if you want to, we can still enable these. So only during that time, only during that 33-minute period, but they only get 15 minutes in that 33-minute period. But if we wanted to, like allow them, other times, we can disable that. And so they can take it at any time now. So it just depends on which, and so here, when time expires, this is what I was saying, open attempts are submitted automatically. So whatever they did, just submit that. Or there's a grace period, right? A little bit more time. And
Grace period.
but no more questions can be answered. So like basically the question that they're on, they can finish it. And once they finish that question, they're done. And then the last choice is attempts must be submitted before time expires or they are not counted. So I think I would say that
Which one do you wanna? Let's decide now.
I think
Honestly, the first one.
First one, yes. Okay, open attempts to submit them.
okay. So this has to do with the grace period if you did choice 2, but we didn't, so it doesn't matter. So grade. I don't want to go too deep into grade because I think Mark would be better at this because if I'm not correct, you do have a category, right? The categories aren't in here yet, but you guys, no, it's not.
No, they're sent to the main instructor.
It's sent to the main
But we
instructor.
have to,
No.
but now,
But actually,
if you're going to do that for every single week, then we could have a category.
yeah, because
But we actually did
last
the grades.
semester we
Like,
used to
starting from spring, we were
Right, what
we
was
were
it?
handling the grades on
Because how much-
we
how
don't
much-
send them to the instructor.
It's 5%. Grammar Lab is
This
5%.
didn't happen in the summer, so I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
In the summer, no.
Yeah,
In the
because
summer,
Because
we
it was
did
only
all
8. Because it was
It was only 8, so we
So tell me again what you
yeah,
did.
from spring we used to we were under the instructor's name, like we had access to the Moodle, and we would put weekly grades and
Under the,
And also the
the
The lab.
category.
the lab.
lab.
Yeah.
Lab,
Mhm.
of course.
Under
It's lab,
lab,
there
yeah,
is a lab
it's lab.
category.
It's 5%.
Sorry.
Right. So
Just refresh my
the
memory.
categories aren't here now because they haven't been
They
uploaded
haven't
yet.
started yet.
Right. So, but once they are, you just put there. Grade to pass. I mean, I think you guys have 10 questions.
Yeah, 10 questions.
So, but the
They're
grade.
always 10, all of them, all of the quizzes are 10?
Yeah,
Okay.
even back in my time.
Okay.
But I think grade to pass. This is percentage.
Yeah,
So 70%. Right. Attempts allowed. So automatically it's unlimited. So you probably want to change that to whatever you want to say.
Just
One attempt.
because it's a quiz, yeah.
And then grading method, layout. I'm just getting again because these things come up and you're like, what is this?
Yeah, we don't know.
So layout is basically, do you want it to have one question per page? Yani, so they only see one question, or you have more than one question per page. That's what it's saying. So for me, it's different. Like sometimes I'll put a few questions on when I have a bigger test. If it's only 10 questions, I think it's good just one question, one page, because then people
They
next to
won't,
each other
yeah.
can't see. But like for me, when you have a bigger question, you have like I give a quiz sometimes that have like 70 questions. I'm ashamed to say. Like,
You call it a quiz?
I'm sorry. It's mostly vocabulary, but I mean, I'll have a few review things in there as well. But it's mostly vocabulary. But I don't want them to get discouraged and see like 70 pages. So I'll put like 10 questions on one page, and it still scrambles it though. It still scrambles it though. So it's unlikely that they'll see the person next to them have the same 10, since you have 70 questions to choose from. So again, here's navigation method, free or sequential. So this is basically saying, do you want to allow them to go back and forth, or they can only go forward? So sequential is they can only go forward.
Which one was the one you preferred? Which one was
Free.
my
Yeah.
grammar?
I think free.
They
Like,
can go
Free.
back.
they didn't have that option on
Yeah.
Thompson.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that is good sometimes,
So
especially.
navigation method free. I'm writing it down so I remember.
And I think it's good to have that method, especially when like grammar and stuff, because like sometimes you remember things later on. You're like,
Right,
oh
they
yeah, I
can go
forgot.
back to the
Right.
original.
As long as you just be careful, and I don't think Townsend would do this mistake, of like having questions later on give answers to questions before. Like a lot of our listening and stuff, we don't want that because some of the questions later give answers to questions before.
But
that's
that's
allows
how
them
students
to
don't
go
even
back.
notice that. Only instructors
That's
know
true.
that.
It's true.
Students don't notice.
So,
yeah, but that allows them to go back and show the person next to them the questions. I don't know. I don't
ooh,
like
good point. Yep,
I don't
that's
like
true.
Oh, yeah,
freedom,
that's
to be
a good-
honest.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
That
Like
is a
they
good
can
point.
go back to question 2 if your question is 7.
That's a good
and
point.
I can show you my answer.
Yeah, they have their
Yeah,
ways.
yeah,
Okay,
they
so
have their
let's
ways.
decide which one
So
is a better one.
no, I think that one.
Sequential.
Yeah, I think sequential.
Okay, question behavior. This is dealing with, so automatically is shuffled. Yes. So
Sequential means if they're done with it, they
They
can
can't go
They
back.
can't go
Yeah,
back.
they can't go back to it.
they only go one direction.
You
1,
need
2,
to allow
3,
them
4,
more
5.
time then.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, more time. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
fine.
okay. They can take
Let's
it.
try it once this way and see what the scores are like.
Because
Right.
that's how it was for English Essentials.
In English Essentials, it was like
That's
that.
how it
yeah.
was.
In my
Yeah.
grammar lab, they had the option to go back.
But
Yeah.
sometimes, Miss Hiba, if they accidentally, for example, click next or something, they didn't mean to, and they're like, Miss, I want to go back to my answer. I'm like, you
Not
can't.
tough luck because we really have to get used to
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Because for online testing. in many
Yeah,
cases,
achieve,
it's
achieve,
like-
they don't allow them to go back.
Achieve.
Kite, they don't allow them to go back,
Yeah.
right? I'm not going to go into this, but this is basically just, you usually leave it as yes,
Shuffle
question behavior.
within questions. Okay.
So that's just question behavior. This is going into something talking about like what kind of feedback. So
Okay,
deferred
we're gonna skip
feedback.
that one because
Yeah.
there's no feedback.
So it's not that big of a deal. Review options. This is important because automatically I think it gives them the answer at the end of the question.
Oh.
So look here. During attempt, it's all automatically highlighted. Immediately after the attempt, it's all highlighted. Meaning after the attempt, they get the correct, whether it's correct or not, wrong or right. It'll tell them whether wrong. It'll tell them what the grade they got. It'll give them specific and general feedback, and it gives them the right answer.
Do
So
you
I don't
want
like
that?
I don't like doing that. I don't like to give them the right answer. I would prefer to give them feedback, but not the right answer after the question. But this is immediately after the attempt. So they clicked it, and then afterwards they'll say, "Oh, you got that right. You got that wrong." Maybe you don't want them to see anything
What
because I
happens
think in
now?
Townsend they
What's the
usually you don't see what you
They
got right or
don't
They
wrong.
don't see.
They don't see, they just get their grade.
Like
And
while
I-
they're doing their question, they get at the bottom if it's right or wrong.
Like 0, they start with 0, and then if they get the point, it's 1 out of 1.
Okay,
And
so
then, and then 1
So it
out
does
of
tell
2 means that they got
Got their
one.
question wrong.
I'll tell you I've done both ways, and I think there's no right answer, but like some students get discouraged, because they're like getting wrong. They're just like,
But
oh.
in terms of cheating, what would be the best?
Oh, definitely no right answer. But
Yeah,
I
no
think
right answer.
either giving them the mark or not giving them the mark is just I don't think it matters either way. It's just
Yeah,
it's
but it's not gonna change.
right. So later while the quiz is still open, so this means like you finish your quiz,
You get it. The other students.
you get the
still
correct
working.
answers. She's still doing her quiz.
Yeah.
So do you
Oh,
want
yeah.
you to see the correct answers while she's sitting next to you still doing her quiz? So I usually leave that off, right answer. And then the same thing for this one. After the quiz is closed, I say yes. I say yes, they can see the right answers.
Which means they can go home.
No, the quiz is closed, meaning the quiz is not, they can't do any more attempt setting.
Yeah, but
They can see, then they can see the answers.
my point is, if that quiz is done,
Yeah.
can I at home have access to that quiz
No.
as a student?
But the grade.
But can I see the correct answer?
You can see the correct answers, but you can't
Okay,
do
can
the
we have
quiz.
a
together.
time?
I can't do it, but
Yeah.
but can I see?
Yes.
The questions
If-
and answers.
If you keep this,
That's a bit of a problem because if one section has
Yeah.
done it and the
The
other
other
section
section
hasn't.
They
Right.
take pictures and they send
Yep.
it to each other.
Yep.
Can we have a time limit for the answers?
Or I think it should be better just don't give them the right answers, right? If you don't give them the right answers before, during, or after,
Sometimes they come
They
and ask.
normally don't have the
They don't get the
answers.
answers.
But like in English Essentials, they don't get the correct
What's
answers.
why was
They
this
wouldn't know
wrong?
what was right and what wasn't.
so this is why I like the specific feedback. This is why I like the specific feedback because it will give them. It will give them like.
But in this our initial stage here of just recreating those quizzes on Moodle, what is
I-
a way?
The way I used to do it is that I used to, after they were all done, they wanted to know their answers or mistakes, I used to redo the test in front of them again.
yourself.
Mm,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
I sometimes do
Fine,
that.
that's better. Let's keep it. At
Yeah, I
That's a good
sometimes
idea.
do that if like most of them got like below 70. then I'd put the quiz on the board and like go through the questions that they got wrong. Like,
That's good.
mostly.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. So
That's
we'll do
good.
a whole class. I don't think it will take more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, it should.
Right.
So a whole
That's a
class.
good
So we
one.
don't want. And can someone take a snapshot of the final on this?
Sure.
Can we just check that they're correct first? So during the attempt, you want all of them except the overall field.
The right answer and our.
I don't know why he's not allowing me to change that.
Maybe because we one of our choices above was didn't allow feedback during the attempt. Like allow redo is no, so that's why we don't have during the attempt.
Where are you looking?
On if you move a little bit above, the allow redo is no.
So change it to yes?
Change it to yes and see what happens if it will allow you. Yeah, now it's available to you.
Yeah.
But we're not allowing them to redo anything within an attempt. So
Right.
if we keep that at no, then that first option during the attempt is automatically
So this is correct?
no. Go
No.
back then.
I have to change this?
To no, yeah. Now we know.
Okay. Yeah. So now we're back to where we were.
No, we still seem to have access to.
There?
Oh yeah, now we're good.
Okay.
So immediately after the attempt, is that okay? The attempt, whether correct, marks, specific feedback. We don't have any specific feedback anyways. General feedback, it doesn't matter. Later, while the quiz is still, we can see the attempt, the correct marks, fine. After the quiz, do you want that? I don't think we need any of that.
Right,
We
right,
don't
we
need
said
any
Yeah,
after
yeah,
the
it's
quiz.
nothing after the
So can you get rid of all of those and we take a snapshot?
after this, this is the same information. It's just telling them which ones they had wrong.
No, we don't want them to see that because others will not have finished. So can you just get rid of all of those? Just for our English
So
session.
marks.
But it needs to have the mark, right? Or it needs
Yeah,
to show
marks
them
are
the mark.
fine. Marks are fine.
Right. I see what you're saying. So all of these should be unmarked then.
Yeah.
Yeah, only mine.
So
Even-
okay, that's easier.
Even
Okay,
all of
marks,
them.
marks,
All of them
marks.
should be unmarked because.
Just marks.
Well, I guess the
This
feedback. The
category
feedback
should
is
be
not a big
options.
deal.
Yeah, because we're not gonna put anyways.
I see what you're saying. Because if they're telling at least which one's wrong, then the next person next to them
Make
has
them
a
X
75%
rates,
chance
right.
of getting it.
Yeah.
They would have a 75% because they would know, okay, D is wrong, so I guess between these three. I see what you're saying. Good. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad we looked at that.
All right, appearance.
Okay, appearance. What is this? I think this is just having to do with nothing that really involves us. I don't think it's so. I don't think that's really important.
Extra restrictions.
Extra. So this is where I was talking about the
Password.
password. So like for me, I would always put like. I would put something in there that they couldn't guess. And then, I mean, that's a good thing. You can change it at any time. Anytime you can change it. So whenever you change it, that means that that's the new password for this exam. But you have to save it. You have to save it. Okay?
I have a question, sir.
Go
So
ahead.
if let's say Anera created all of this and then we imported it to my class,
Mm-hmm.
will we have the same password or do I get to change it? If I change it, is it changed for her?
So the question was, what are you importing? You don't import.
Let's say the quiz itself.
You don't import quizzes. You import
Okay, so
questions.
each one of us.
You import
okay.
questions.
Create your own quiz.
So each one of us has to create.
Well, I mean, because like this is everybody has to do this. I mean, you could. Okay, I stand corrected. You can import assignments and quizzes, yes, but again, like yeah, you can import
Okay, so
quizzes.
each one of
Yeah,
us
you're
has to create her own quiz.
right. No, you're right. You could import
Okay.
the quiz. You could.
Okay, so at a later time you can show us how to
Import the quiz.
from one.
Yeah, we could do that real quick too. I mean, it doesn't take long.
Okay, extra
You can only
restrictions.
import one question at a time.
No,
Not the whole.
No. I mean, both. You can do both.
Okay.
So you can make a new quiz, and then as long as you imported all those old question bank questions into your question bank, into your current course,
Right.
you can pick from all of them. And you can import, like what I do in my course, like I have everything from, I did from last semester, all those assignments and quizzes and stuff, I just automatically import them to this semester.
You
So-
can see the previous semester quizzes?
Well, I can't see them, but I have them, before the end of the semester, you have to save your course, you have to save everything. You save, it's called backup. It's right here.
Oh, okay.
You back
We'll
up
need
your
to
course.
Do that so that the following
Yeah,
future
For the
semesters,
next semester.
Right.
that whole work is
I
lost.
think IT does this, but I always do it just to be sure.
Okay, so that's another session. Back up.
Yeah, so you back up your course so that everything is saved. I mean, but backup is kind of one of the problems I see with backup is like it just takes everything copy paste from last semester into this semester. So you have to go through there and kind of like, oh, this assignment it didn't really work well or something. You have to kind of like edit it, take it out, review it, type
Which
of
is
things.
why I was initially thinking that we start off with a generic session course.
That's
that
what
is
we,
not a semester by semester course. It's a static course that
Hmm.
stays with us.
what do you mean?
Same like back to basics. And we create everything on back to basics. So it's all there.
Yeah.
Then we take it to the different courses every semester.
That's a
We
good
can
idea.
create one that like
You're right, we
only
can do that.
instructors can like
We can do that.
So I
access
think it's
and
better
students
that
have
we
to
do
open.
all those on back to basics.
But kind of,
It's
Mark.
a static course. It's not a semester by semester course. It's almost like
Yeah, yeah.
a
It's always
repository
there.
Hmm.
that stays there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. All the assignments are there, and then
All
we just.
that, the grammar quizzes are there, and then every semester we just copy them from there or
Okay.
wherever.
This
we
would be
need them.
easier for Mark because essentially that's what
Yes.
Mark has to do this every semester where he has to make that template for every teacher.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to what you're saying, where every teacher would
It's
just.
all there. They all can see it. They can even see which ones have been created and which ones haven't been created. Like it's a storage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is cool.
Okay,
This is
require network outlets.
this is something that I haven't seen before. I didn't see this last semester.
Maybe it's new.
This looks like you can restrict. This would be something. I think this would be like what you're saying, restricted to this network. So like Gust
I
has
like
its
that.
own network,
Let's use
right? We
that.
have our own network at Gust. You could. I don't know what the address is for the Gust network. We have to
I think
play
they
with
have
it.
to go like on students Gust,
Right.
where they are all on.
That's the same thing they have to do with net support. With net support, every student has to jump onto the student Wi-Fi, the Gust student Wi-Fi, and then once they're there, then I can access all their
But
laptops as well.
unfortunately, the reality is in the classrooms that Wi-Fi is
Sometimes doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't
Right.
always work. Like
So
sometimes
for
they
now-
have to connect to the
Yes.
hotspot.
I always let them use their hotspot from them.
Yeah, in fact, we
Yeah.
allow them to.
I
sometimes.
know.
Because
I
the
know.
desk starts.
Yeah, it's
And so that's a
faster.
problem.
That was a huge problem. I mean, like it would again. I can't say 100% because last semester, since we couldn't get on everybody's laptop, that was like the main problem. So that I think would be the next problem. Is this network actually working?
Yeah. And if not, how can we get them to use their own without causing problems?
We should look into this. I think this would be. I think they could use their own, and maybe
We should look into
I would try it. I'm gonna try it. But I mean, I'm just saying like we should all play with it though. Like don't be afraid to like try things and like what happens is you're sitting in class and the student's like it's not working and you're like oh okay let me just change this real quick. You change it, save it, and then go back to the way it was before.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just finish this up real quick. So enforced delay between first and second
We
attempt.
don't have that.
Yeah.
This is a cool feature. This is exactly what they were saying like in major exams where you're saying just like how we do with the kiting and stuff. They can't take it like the next day, right? They have a mandatory delay of when they can take it next time because the questions and stuff are still kind of fresh in their mind. So I do this with my quizzes, like my weekly quizzes, because again I want it to be something that's formative. I want to make sure that they learned it, not just take it, find out their mistakes, and then just take it again and just have it memorized, short-term memory, and just I want it to be long-term memory. So I usually make it 3-4 days between attempts. So I will enable this,
So you enable them to take the same quiz a second time?
right, for the formative ones, not the summative ones, but the formative
I
ones.
understand.
Huh?
Does it affect the grade?
Well,
No,
these
but
are,
they said we can
these
change
are,
it. Like they
we
said,
have a
like for the
certain
second
category.
50%.
It's a different category that is under instruction.
Right. Yeah. This might not apply to you guys as much.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
consistent. for
This is
all
more
of us.
so classwork than
Yeah.
hardcore quizzes. But it won't let me click. Anyways, that's the cool feature.
Because we put no attempts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We put one attempt only.
Yeah.
Right.
Overall
So
feedback, forget it. Common module settings. what's that?
so this is something that I think we should play with this year. This is browser security. I think this is something similar to what net support does that was added this last semester, and I do want to play with this stuff. Okay. Anyways, not a big deal here. Overall feedback, you could say great job. That's it. You just say if they got 100%, great job. If they got 0, try again next time. Don't give up. I don't think this is anything important. That has to do with grouping. I don't think you guys do any groups or anything, so it doesn't really matter. Restrict access, I think. So yeah, so this is, I guess, more restrictions that you could put on the quiz. But I think what you already have is, I think is fine. Here's the competencies, and I think that this will really revolutionize the whole university if we could have like a set, like the whole university has like a outlined hierarchy of competencies that like every student that graduates from Gus should be able to do. And then like this was one of the problems that they were saying in that meeting we had last with all the teachers, and the PUC was there. Some of the teachers were complaining that there's a disconnect between what they make on the test and what the university wants. I think competencies would bridge that gap perfectly, because literally every question, every quiz, you can like link it to a competency. So there's no question that I am testing exactly what the university wants me to test. But that's something for another time. We save and display, or save, return to course, either one. Save and display just means I can kind of edit it again. Oh, here's something. The grade to pass does not be greater than the maximum possible grade. Okay, so this is a Moodle weird thing.
Yeah, well, it's out of 10, so 7, not 17.
Right. But the thing is usually, okay, let me just show you. Usually, when you first create a quiz, it's just default number of questions or the default number of possible choices is 10. However, for us, 70%, so like sometimes I'll change the questions to 12 or 13. So you don't want it to have 7 questions correct out of...
You do want the percentage.
You want a percentage, but you can't do it. Whenever you first create it, you have to give it a number less than 10 because it's just the default number. You save it, and then after you start adding your questions, so if we added 20 questions, we don't want 7 to be the number of pass. So editing quiz, no questions have been added yet. So again, this is one.
We go back to the question.
Now we
and
go.
Then we add it here.
Yeah, so we don't have to go back to questions. We just here, edit quiz, and this will take us to the questions. So here you can add. See, like I said, let me go back real quick. It automatically gives you maximum grade 10. I think it's okay for you guys because
In our case, it's simple.
yeah, for you guys it's good. So add a new question. You could create a question here, but that's why we already went to the categories and created a question bank from question bank. So we go back to our question bank. Why? Oh, because this is not linked to my
No, it is. It's the week 2 review.
week 2 review. That's it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. I don't think it's connected to my, where's the disconnect? Why are my questions not here? I should have all my categories
All the
should
ones
be
you
here.
created.
Yeah, what I think is happening, I think this course right here that I'm in, I think I'm in 07976, I haven't imported. Well, gotta show you guys how to import it, so might as well just do that now. Got it. Sorry for taking so long, but so here, import. So I went down to question bank. I'm going to import. So hopefully I have my question bank already here. We usually just do, which file format do we pick? I want to say it's Aiken.
Noisy.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, I need my file. I think it's on my hard drive, but maybe I can access it. Maybe I have it on my FPU drive. I don't think I put it in here. Where would I put that? So usually, okay. So what's happening is asking where did you export your last course and all your question banks? I usually have an external hard drive that's at home. I know it's at home. It's not on my desktop. I usually put it on there, just because I don't want to load up my regular one. Yeah, because you only have so much space you can put on your drive. So I usually put it on there, and so I would find that one, and I don't have it here because again, that's something that I would just do from my regular laptop. But that's it. I would import those questions, upload the file, and then all those question banks that you already saw from my last semester, they would be in here, and then I could create the quiz, edit the quiz, add the questions, and you just go to the question. It was the exact same thing that we saw before. Categories, and I would go to writing, grammar, and then the week 1, whatever we created, and I would just add them. You could just click on them, click on the box to the left of each question that you want, and it will add them to that for this test. And since this test was out of 10 marks, that's good because even if I'm pretty sure, even if you add 12 questions, 13 questions, it'll still give it out of 10. And I think that's what you guys were, that's what you wanted, right? Because each quiz was out of 10, I believe, right?
Yeah, the 10, so we're fine.
Yeah, so I think that's all good. Sorry.
No, that's cool.
Sorry. Okay, and I think
So now, how do we start?
Do we wait until we're enrolled?
I would.
Yeah, until
Into
they
the
open the
sections.
sections online.
Do there have to be students listed?
No.
We probably
Okay, so
wait
we
until
can-
back to basics. Back to basics is visible because it's not right now.
Okay, so what I would say, I would start with, because to make it, to spread the work out, instead of one person creating all the quizzes,
Yeah, of course.
why don't you guys like divide up, decide on like which quizzes you want to, who's
They
going to do
will,
what,
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
divide the work up, and then if you have access to the course now, or if you just have your own course, like even if you're not on the correct,
Yeah,
course.
can
that
we have another one like exact?
That's
Yeah,
my
back
point.
to
Can
Yeah,
we
so-
have
Yeah,
back
just
to
have it.
basics.
Yeah.
But
For the
we
lab.
Yeah, for like.
we
the
will
lab
have
one.
back to basics.
Yeah.
Back to basics.
Yeah, so you could, if I don't know why I don't have back basics right
We
here.
can ask Mark when back to basics. I looked for it this morning as well and I couldn't find
You
it.
couldn't find it either. Yeah, I think at IT they just like refresh everything every semester, and Mark has to like refresh everything every semester. I think.
So once back
They
to
flush it.
basics is
They-
visible, we can ask
Yeah.
Mark to give all three of them access to back to basics.
And then start
We already
making.
have
We already
access to
have
that.
So good.
Fine.
Okay, so if you
Once
guys.
you can see back to basics, then you can create a grammar
Category.
grammar lab
Category.
quiz category,
Mhm.
and then let's say do the first 6 quizzes like 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
We get those 6 out, or even 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So it
One.
gives each one of you one. Whether you want to sit, put your heads together and do it together, or whether you want to do it alone and write your questions down, and then
Right.
and keep me in the loop because I'll be learning from everything you're doing.
So once you have that in the back to basics, you create the categories, you create your questions. Once you get access, once you know your teacher and you get access to their course,
Then you teach us how to
We
move
just
it from back to
import.
basics. How to import it from back to basics
Right.
to that.
and I'm pretty sure that's really
We don't have grammar lab in week 1, so they have a bit of time.
Okay,
which is
good.
It
Yeah.
gives us a bit of time. So I think next week is when we work on it. I would like to do one as well, just to practice.
I remember it being so easy.
But I don't even remember.
But again, even for me, like this stuff, I forget like every semester. I'm like, how do I do that again?
Yeah, oh, we always forget.
Yeah.
That's why we have the
Forget.
TAs to help us with all of that stuff.
Because they have
Oh, and
the
by
best
way,
memories.
the Unlock, we're going to, instructors are going to create their own Unlock courses for their students. Do they do it?
Yeah, we're not really
No?
No, we were only trained for memorize.
Quizlet, memorize, and English is
And English.
So Unlock is roughly, yeah.
So you say it again?
Probably instructors will also want to create their own course on Unlock for this semester, so that then they could have their students enrolled. And in the past, I know you had.
Oh
Remember in the
yeah.
summer we had difficulty. I stopped.
Oh, it didn't. It never worked. They never.
Some,
Got,
it worked for some, but not for others. But I couldn't see it.
they never fixed it.
You could see it, then it disappeared.
Right.
Then you could see it again, but I couldn't.
And they never replied. The unlocked people, because I remember you sent them an email. You copied me, and I was like, I was hoping that they would reply and say,
Okay,
yeah, we'll
and
fix
I
it.
was gone, but they never replied. I checked.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll create our unlock courses.
Perhaps because you created it, that's why I couldn't see it. Which shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, it shouldn't because I don't know. I don't know. We'll get it figured out this semester though.
This week, it's actually week 1. Everyone will probably be
Making it.
wanting to.
Do it.
Because the students will not have bought their books, and then they will get started with the stuff that we can do.
Right.
At least our own course as instructor.
Yeah.
Then when they get their books with the code, then we get to enroll them.
Yeah. So I'll do that with them. I'll start getting that
Okay.
set up.
All right. Do you want to decide on another time for